uh, for question, let me write the TOEFL structure, speaking structure here, because then it gets easier for you to check and to memorize. Memorizing is not crucial, but the more you know about the test, the less surprises you get when you take it. Well, in the speaking section, question number one, just as you said, it's a personal opinion. You are going to have 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to answer. Okay. Okay? Any question number two?
You have to give an opinion between two situations.
Yeah, you have to choose. And what about the timing?
The same?
Exactly. The same timing, okay? Great.
Okay.
Now, what about question number three?
You have to read some passage
Mm-hmm.
and after to listen conversation.
Yes, very good. Now, they are always going to ask you, Anna, about the opinion of one student about what was stated in the passage, in the reading. Okay? This will always be the question.
Okay.
Okay? Now, how much time do you have to prepare?
Uh, uh, thir 30 seconds to prepare
Yes.
and 6 seconds to answer.
Exactly. Very good.
And 45 to reading, right?
Exactly. You have 45 seconds to read. Excellent. Very good. Now, what about question number four that we practiced until our last class?
You have to read some
Mhm.
passage and listen a lecture.
Exactly. Now, the lecture, the question will always ask you the relationship in both. The tip is what I call generally the choose something. What is the choose something? It's two examples in the lecture of what was stated in the passage. So two examples of camouflage, two types of forgetting, two examples of cyclic population, for example. So in
Okay.
most parts, I'm going to put 90% of the times in TOEFL. I'm afraid to say 100% of the times, but in most parts, you are going to have the two something, the two examples of banana. Okay?
Okay.
How much time do you have to read?
45 seconds,
Excellent. How about to prepare?
30 seconds,
Very good. And how about to read? To
six,
answer?
60 seconds.
Very good. Now, now you see, Anna, that the questions in speaking section, they are divided from two to two, two to two. Check it out. These are what we call independent. Why? Because you have nothing. You just have your opinion. They
Yes.
just give you a question and it's independent on any other source. You have to give your answer. Now, in these, you have a reading and you have a listening. These are the questions that you need to read and listen. Now, in questions number five and six, you just have to listen.
Okay.
Now, we're going to talk today about question number five. In my opinion, question number five is the easiest question. In my opinion.
Okay.
Why? Because it's always going to be the very same thing. What is it? Somebody is screwed. Do you know what
What?
screwed means?
No, I don't know.
Screwed means ferrado.
Okay.
Somebody is screwed. And somebody's screwed. And what is going to happen there? You have to state the person's problem. And there will be a friend who is going to give two solutions. Always two solutions. So you have to state the person's problem, the two solutions, and the one of the solutions you think is best. That's always what you are going to have to do. Question 5 never changes. It's always
Okay.
problem, two solutions, the one you think is best, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, Anna, just a second. Okay. Now, what is the time you have to prepare? You are going to have 20 seconds to prepare, and you are going to have to answer for 60 seconds.
It's very short to prepare the time.
Yeah,
No?
it's because as you are not going to have to read, they assume that you need less time to prepare. But it's not so complicated. Trust me. This is the timing I suggest. Timing. This is the timing I suggest. Talk of the problem and two solutions in at most 30 seconds. Okay? 30 seconds for the problem and two solutions. Okay? And what about the other 30 seconds? In the other 30 seconds, you speak of your opinion. Why? Because they need to know, they want to know if you are able to understand and to defend. You know, Anna. So this is very important. What's the most common mistake in question number 5? What is it? It's very common this when you understand so much of the problem into solutions that you speak too much of them, you know? So this is a problem because some people they speak so much about the problem into solution, so much, so much, so much, so much that they don't have time to give their opinion, or they give their opinion in 10 seconds. You know, and TOEFL wants to hear what you think. Of course, I said at most 30 seconds, but if you can do it in 40 seconds, no problem. You know, you speak of your opinion in 20 seconds. But the problem is, if you have only 20 seconds to speak of your opinion, I think it's complicated to develop your answer.
Okay.
You know? So every time I take TOEFL, that's exactly what I do. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to take TOEFL again. Yes, you know. So, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do in TOEFL. When I go to TOEFL,
Oh.
I'm going to go to Brasilia. I'm going to take in Brasilia because in Uberlândia they don't have it here.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You have
take at
to.
CNA Lago Norte. Do you know where it is?
I don't know the exact location, but I know the Lago Norte.
Yeah, yeah. And you
And
know,
when?
it's sorry.
Do you
Oh, I
go?
have to. Oh no, no. Yeah, I don't know if my other student answer me, and we can have classes on Friday. Then I'm gonna have to talk to you. If not, I will have to talk to him. It's going to be April 4th.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
because for my course in Toronto, I already have to apply now.
Ah,
You know.
yeah. You said me.
Yes, I already have to apply now. And my previous TOEFL, the validity, it's out. It doesn't. It's not good anymore. It's not valid anymore because it's just for 2 years.
Ah, okay.
You know.
You have to do again.
Yeah, I have to get it to do again, and that's exactly what I do every time. You know, all the
Yeah.
tips I give you, it's exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. And you know, in the speaking section, my last TOEFL, I took 28 out of 30. And I took
Oh,
28 because in the first one I was very nervous because we feel nervous, Anna. We feel nervous. I,
yeah.
I am a teacher. I am an English teacher, and in the first question I was nervous. In the second question I was okay. In the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, it was
Because it's after the break,
yes,
the speaking.
yes, exactly this. You leave the break, you come back a little, you know, a little bit lost, and then oh my God, and then you have to do the speaking. What I'm gonna try to do this time is I'm going to go to the toilet and speak a little in English to myself, just
Yes, you
warm
said.
up, you know? Yeah. I can, even show you because, yeah, see, que menino bonito. No,
Oh,
my listening, my reading 29, listening 30, speaking and writing 28. But check it.
wow.
Here, can you see? Good, good, and fair. Because of
What's
question
fair?
number one. Fair means bom. Uh, Good is wow, you rock. Woohoo! Fair
Ah,
is is good but not so good
okay.
because I was nervous. Can you
Yes.
see in questions number one and two, my grade was better in three, four, five, and six than in number one and two because
Ah, okay.
I was oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, Jesus. I hope this doesn't happen with me. You see, and writing was good too.
Good is the best level that's. Oh, high it's the best.
And high is the best in reading and listening, you know,
Okay.
and good is the best in writing and speaking.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why they organize like this, but this is how they organize it. And uh, I was happy with the only one that I made a real mistake was the speaking. No, no, the writing. I wrote.
I will take your test and
Uh,
copy and change the photo to my photo and the name, okay?
an email, date of birth, gender, registration.
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
let's see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can do it, Anna. But the thing is that I teach TOEFL, so I practice this very much, and I speak English every day. I listen to English every day. Now, my listening when I became an English teacher, my listening was not so very good. But as I started listening every day, every day, every day, every day, in a couple of months, then my listening got very much better. So that's why I tell everybody, what do you do to listen better? Listen every day. That's the
Okay.
same problem I have today with my French. Because French people, they speak very, very fast too. But the thing is that the French language, they eat a lot of sounds. And
Okay.
and I still have to listen very often, frequently. I have to listen if possible every day, a little bit, because sometimes I get lost. What is this person saying? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you listen every day, you get you get yourself able to understand it. It's all about practice. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna do question number five today, and this is my suggestion. This is what I always do. Talk of the problem and choose solutions in 30, if possible, 30 seconds, if no, 40 seconds. How are you going to do this? You are going to have to summarize the problem into suggestions because you are probably going to have to understand everything. And then, Anna, the problem is, as you understand everything, people try to speak everything, and you don't need to. You know,
Okay.
just explain summarizedly. And let me just finish for you the speaking section, sweetie. Then we go to question number six. And question number six, in my opinion, is the hardest. What is question number 6 going to be? It's going to be a lecture. And it's the hardest for me because we don't have a reading to know about what's happening. Because in question number 4, you have a reading to tell you they're going to talk about banana. In
Yeah.
question number 6, no. In question number 6, they don't have any reading, anything to tell you what they're going to say. And so, what is the tip? The tip is the same I give for question number 4. 90% of the times, I say 90% of the times, but in fact, I believe that TOEFL nowadays does that for every test they make. The they choose something. They're going to give 2 examples of something. Okay?
Okay.
And the timing is exactly the same as you have in question number 5. So you're gonna have 20 seconds to prepare.
I have to defend the to something.
No, no, no. Good question. In number 6, you were just going to have to stay. The only one you were going to have to defend is number 5. And it's an important question, because in TOEFL we never give our opinion unless TOEFL asks us to. You know, if TOEFL asks you, "What's your opinion? What do you think?" Then you say, but it's going to happen only in question number 1, number 2, and number 5.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then number 6, it's only summarize the 2 things.
Yes, 99% of the times, but not only. Uh, there, for example, imagine they talk about um, architecture. They can talk about a phenomena in architecture, but generally they talk about 2 types of houses, 2 types of cities, 2 types of animal housing. It's generally they talk about 2 examples, you know, but it can happen differently. Okay, it may happen differently. Does that happen often? No, that does not happen so often, but it may happen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now, oh, Anna, I'm going to play the first lecture. Let me just check. Oh, not the first lecture, sorry. The first occasion in number 5. Remember, you are going to have 20 seconds to prepare, 60 seconds to answer, and try to speak of the problem and 2 solutions in at most, if you can, at most 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Do you have pencil and paper with you?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Sample practice.
Now listen to a conversation between 2 students.
Oh, great.
What's wrong?
My computer broke down. As you know, the report is due tomorrow. Now what am I going to do?
Did you save your files? If you did, there might be a way to open them.
Unfortunately, no, I didn't save them. I can't believe it. See, I was almost done. Even if I stay up all night, I don't think I'll be able to finish it by tomorrow.
Why don't you go down to the help desk? I'm sure they could help you.
Yeah, I know, but it's almost midnight. I have to pay extra for after-hours service. I read that the library charges money for any services or help after 10 at night.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know about that. Then why don't you talk to your professor tomorrow? Maybe she could give you an extension. If you tell her what happened to your computer, I think she'll understand.
No way. I remember when Jennifer asked for an extension because she was hospitalized. Professor Fickle refused and told Jennifer it would be unfair to the other students. I think she's really strict, and I don't think a computer breakdown problem could be an excuse.
Did you get it, Anna?
Yes, I
Okay.
think.
Oh, listen up.
The 2 students talk about the man's problem. Describe the problem and state which of the 2 solutions you prefer and why.
20 seconds to prepare. Now, Anna, please answer.
The computer of the student was broken and he didn't save the file. So the woman said to her to go to went to help desk, but the help desk is closed. And after she said to he talked the professor about this problem. So, in my opinion, I think the student have to write the his work and describe uh, all the things that happen, and after to give the letter with the professor and describe the problem and write down this work on paper and to prove the text and the work that had done. I think the best way to do.
So you believe it's better to talk to the professor, right?
The professor, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, the problem is exactly this. Oh, gente. Hang on. Oh, hang on a second, please.
Where are you?
Yeah, my camera, it has TPM sometimes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good. Oh, no, no. The problem was exactly this. Very good. The first solution is to go to the help desk, but they charge extra. Do you understand charge extra? Yes, yes,
Charge it a fee? No,
yes, yes.
the fee.
Okay, they charge after extra after midnight, and okay, very good. You see, it's much easier. You did very well. You didn't stop. But the problem, the solution. You didn't do it. Very good. Now, but my suggestion is be explicit about the position you took. For example, I believe the best option is to talk to the professor. I believe the student could write a letter talking to the professor about what his problem was. So state, clearly which one you believe is the best one. Okay? Okay, but
Okay.
you did very well. You did very well. Very well. Really, really. Excellent. Do you have any questions about this one?
No, but can you repeat the second part, in my opinion? What
Uh,
I have to improve? I think I didn't understand.
okay. Oh, you said, I believe the student has to write his work. His work, you mean his
The,
assignment?
yes, the sign.
Okay. Have to write his work and describe to the professor what happened. Is that it? What you said? And write
Yeah,
down this in a letter and give the professor.
yeah.
Okay. Well, uh, listen to this. The student's problem is that his computer broke down and he has an assignment due to the next day. His student gave him two solutions. The first one was to go to the help desk, although it charges more after midnight, and the second would be to talk to the professor to try an extension. Once his computer broke down, maybe the professor can give it to him. In my opinion, the best option is to talk to the professor. I believe that he could write his assignment in paper and he could write a letter telling the professor what happened with his computer. I believe that by doing that, he would show the professor that he was not lying, that he indeed did his work, but he could not print it to deliver, to hand in to the professor because of his computer, and this was not his fault. Now, check what I did. As soon as I finished talking about the solution, I took my position. I believe he has to talk to the professor. I was explicit.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and this is what I'm telling you to do, because you explained what you thought he had to do, but I had to deduce that you were defending that he should talk to the professor.
Ah, okay.
Okay, Yes, and he has to write his assignment and not work, okay? Because work is different in this academic context.
It's assignment.
Assignment. Do you know how to write it?
Yes.
Okay.
Assignment.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Always two solutions. This one is a little more complicated. Let's check if you understand. Listen up.
Rather find a way than to talk about the problem.
Practice test. Practice 1.
Now listen to a conversation between two students.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
What do you mean we're in trouble? What's wrong?
Well, you'll know that one of the famous philosophers is supposed to give a speech next week.
Yeah, I heard about that. I read it in the school bulletin. So what about it? Why are you so concerned?
Well, I'm so worried that not many students are aware of it. I'm getting worried that he might have to give a speech in a large room with only a few students. If that happens, I'm going to feel really bad for the lecturer.
Yeah, I get your point. Say, if you're that concerned, what about sending emails to the whole department? I'm sure the students will check their emails and it could be a good chance to let them know about it.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class rather than a lecture? Tell the professor that students want to talk more deeply about his book, which was recently published.
Well, I guess it won't be easy to ask the professor for a change because the lecture is in a week. I need a solution anyway.
The students
I
discussed
didn't get.
possible
I told you it's harder, much harder.
Ah, esse moço fanho. Oh my God, and I was nervous.
Oh no! Try listening again. It's all about practice. Come on,
Okay.
listen up.
Practice test. Practice 1.
Now listen to a conversation between two students.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
What do you mean we're in trouble? What's wrong?
Well, you'll know that one of the famous philosophers is supposed to give a speech next week.
Yeah, I heard about that. I read it in the school bulletin. So what about it? Why are you so concerned?
Well, I'm so worried that not many students are aware of it. I'm getting worried that he might have to give a speech in a large room with only a few students. If that happens, I'm going to feel really bad for the lecturer.
Yeah, I get your point. Say, if you're that concerned, what about sending emails to the whole department? I'm sure the students will check their emails and it could be a good chance to let them know about it.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class rather than a lecture? Tell the professor that students want to talk more deeply about his book, which was recently published.
Well, I guess it won't be easy to ask the professor for a change because the lecture is in a week. I need a solution anyway.
What about now?
Oh,
Do you know what's aware?
aware is.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't listen this word.
No problem. Para repetir, what do you believe to be the problem?
The problem with my the famous philosopher, the famous philosopher will be at the university, and they shouldn't have to give a speech.
Not the student.
This famous philosopher.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have this doubt.
Yeah. Okay. The famous philosopher. And what's the problem? This is just the context.
The problem is the not sufficient student there. No,
Kinda, but you have to explain better. What do you mean by not sufficient students?
to watch him. No,
Okay, but make a sentence.
uh, Is it the problem?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
it. That's it.
The famous philosopher will be at the university to give a speech, and the students and this student have a word. This student was worried because it can be enough student there
It
to watch.
can it can be enough students there. What do you mean by
It,
that?
um,
It's because I want you to use an expression. Okay. Oh, this sentence needs fixing. Okay, Anna. And the thing is, do you remember there is and there are?
yes,
Yes. Okay. Anna. So it's important to say that every time we're talking about the verb exist in English, it's more common to use there is and there are. Okay.
yes,
Okay. What's the past of there is?
there was,
Excellent. And what's the past of there are?
there were,
Yes. Now tell me, what is the future of there is, there are?
will have.
There will be. Never have.
Ah,
Okay. There will be because it's the verb to be we're using. Okay.
I don't know this.
Yeah, yeah. No problem. No problem. And what do you think is the negative of there will be?
There won't be.
Exactly. And this is the expression you need to use. Now tell to me
Ah,
again, what's the problem?
okay. The problem there won't be students, sufficient enough students to watch the famous philosopher.
Agora a tua resposta é encaixadinha. Pá, 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 pá. We can understand everything. There won't be. Now, let me just give you some other um, expressions as we were talking about this. It's always important. This, Anna, is one of the top 5 mistakes we Brazilians commit in English. And so we have there is, there are, there was, there were, there will be, there won't be. And we also have there would be. Do you understand what there would be mean? It's a hypothetical situation. For example, this weekend there would be a presentation in Uberlândia, a parade, but it rained very much, and so there wasn't. Okay,
Okay.
there would be is a hypothetical situation. Okay, so we can have this there be in any verb tense, but it's important to remember that it's always there with the verb to be. It's different from Portuguese that we use have.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so there is, there are, there was, there were, there will be, there won't be, there wouldn't be. And we have other verb tenses, but you don't have to know them right now because they get a little more complicated with the perfect tenses. But it's not necessary. Just this expression it's necessary. There won't be, okay? This exactly is the problem. And what about the two solutions?
The first solution, he said to send emails.
Yes.
Send emails to the students or professor.
You tell me.
Because I wrote send emails.
Ah, okay.
And I think I send emails to students, not to invite them.
Yeah, yes. And the other.
The other I didn't get.
Okay, try listening again. Okay.
Conversation between two students.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
What do you mean we're in trouble? What's wrong?
Well, You'll know that one of the famous philosophers is supposed to give a speech next week?
Yeah, I heard about that. I read it in the school bulletin. So what about it? Why are you so concerned?
Well, I'm so worried that not many students are aware of it. I'm getting worried that he might have to give a speech in a large room with only a few students. If that happens, I'm going to feel really bad for the lecturer.
Yeah, I get your point. Say, if you're that concerned, what about sending emails to the whole department? I'm sure the students will check their emails and it could be a good chance to let them know about it.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class rather than a lecture? Tell the professor that students want to talk more deeply about his book, which was recently published.
Well, I guess it won't be easy to ask the professor for a change because the lecture is in a week. I need a solution anyway.
And now,
The second, I lost the first sentence, but after he said to talk to professor too deeply.
oh, to deeply
Não é.
profundamente.
Não?
Para profundamente doesn't make sense. You have to make a sentence. To
He said to talk to
Ah.
professor to, I don't know deeply what. How is the lecture is deeply?
oh, you're getting near. You're getting near. Oh.
If that happens, I'm
It's
going to
important.
feel really bad for the lecturer.
Yeah, I get your point. Say, if you're that concerned, what about sending emails to the whole department? I'm sure the students will check their emails and it could be a good chance to let them know about it.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class? Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class? Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class?
What is he saying?
I didn't understand any word.
Really?
In this sentence.
Yeah, it's really
Only discussion. Only discussion.
yes. Oh,
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class?
listen. Why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class? Listen again.
To read the discussion.
To lead, not to read. Do you understand to lead a discussion class? Lead.
No.
Lead is a verb that means many things, Anna. It's this verb here. Just a second. It's this verb here. Do you know it?
Lead.
Yes. It means in this sentence, it means conduzir. It comes, that's where the word leader comes from.
Okay.
Yes, lead, conduzir, and leader is the noun. Okay? Yeah. Check if you can understand him.
A good chance to let them know about it.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class? The professor to lead a discussion class.
What is the second solution?
To defense, to lead a discussion class.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep on listening.
Rather than a lecture. Rather than class. Rather than a lecture.
Rather than a lecture. Do you know this expression, rather than?
No.
Oh, this is a good expression too. Let me write it for you. Anna, rather than oh, Jesus Christ. Rather than, it's ao invés de. Okay, listen again, bro. Just this little part.
Could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class rather than a lecture?
Okay.
Rather than a lecture. But he said a lead discussion class?
Class.
Class?
Yes. Okay, listen again.
Yeah, that could be a way.
Or why don't you ask the professor to lead a discussion class rather than a lecture?
Rather than a lecture.
Okay? Okay.
Tell the professor that students want to talk more deeply about his book, which was recently published.
Well, I guess it won't be easy to ask the professor for a change because the lecture is in a week. I need a solution anyway.
The students discuss two possible solutions to the woman's problem. Describe the problem. Then state which of the two solutions you prefer and explain why.
Okay. And now you have 20 seconds to prepare, okay? Now, Anna, please answer.
Um, the problem is the famous philosopher given speech in next week, and the student was worried because there won't be enough student there. So the man have two solutions. First, to send an email to hold the department, and after to talk to professor to defense a discuss rather than lecture class, rather than lecture. So for me, in my opinion, I think she have sent emails to hold the department to inform the lecture how is important the student to listen the famous philosopher, so the student can improve your knowledge and after use in our skills.
Okay. Anna, oh, there is one thing very important for you to remember. I have, you have, he, she, it.
Yes.
Yes, sweetie, because you committed this in the last two answers, and in this one you said twice. She have, the boy, the professor have. Okay, so she has,
Okay.
the professor has. Okay,
Okay.
and the second solution said he should defense a discourse. It should be he should lead a discussion.
Mm,
Okay, lead a discussion. That would be the expression. She has to send emails. This time you were very clear about the position you took. Very clear. No room for question. It's clear. She has to send emails to tell the students how it's important for your knowledge. You were saying to me.
they are not.
That's the thing. But sweetie, repeat please. Their knowledge. Yeah.
Their knowledge.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Okay. See, you are doing well. You know, one tip here, one tip there. Okay.
I
Let's
was
go.
very nervous, very
It's
nervous.
it's it's going to happen in TOEFL. You're going to be nervous in TOEFL. You know, it's gonna happen. You know, be nervous with me. Be very nervous with me. One time, two times, 10 times, 100 times if necessary it is. But when you go to TOEFL, you will feel less nervous than you are now. Because with practice, we feel more comfortable. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do another?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
A conversation between two people.
Hello, Professor Findlay. How are you?
Oh, hello, Professor Brown. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm fine, except for one thing. One of my students has a swimming competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam. I want to give her the opportunity to do both, but I don't know how I can arrange that. If I give her an extension, I have to do that for the whole class, and I don't think I want to do that. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, how about allowing her to take a makeup test? It's not an extension. You can just continue with the other students' exams and give her a separate test paper on the day of her return. In that way, you don't have to change your schedule. The only thing you have to do is to make another test paper.
I've thought of that too, but our department never allows makeup tests. It's a way to prevent plagiarism.
Then why don't you give her an extra writing assignment? Give her a long and challenging assignment that's enough to cover the content of the exam so that it could make up for her missed exam. So her grade for her paper would be her grade for the exam. I think you can work your way around it, can't you?
Maybe, but the problem is she is taking too many other courses and has many writing assignments too. If I give her another writing assignment on top of the others, I think the result will be worse than expected.
The professors discussed two
I
possible...
Ah,
I didn't get enough. Only the second solution.
okay. Listen again.
Please.
The woman should send emails to the students.
Practice 2. Now listen to a conversation between two people.
Hello, Professor Findlay. How are you?
Oh, hello, Professor Brown. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm fine, except for one thing. One of my students has a swimming competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam. I want to give her the opportunity to do both, but I don't know how I can arrange that. If I give her an extension, I have to do that for the whole class, and I don't think I want to do that. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, how about allowing her to take a makeup test? It's not an extension. You can just continue with the other students' exams and give her a separate test paper on the day of her return. In that way, you don't have to change your schedule. The only thing you have to do is to make another test paper.
I've thought of that too, but our department never allows makeup tests. It's a way to prevent plagiarism.
Then why don't you give her an extra writing assignment? Give her a long and challenging assignment that's enough to cover the content of the exam so that it could make up for her missed exam. So her grade for her paper would be her grade for the exam. I think you can work your way around it, can't you?
Maybe, but the problem is she is taking too many other courses and has many writing assignments too. If I give her another writing assignment on top of the others, I think the result will be worse than expected.
What about now?
Not so good.
Well, would you like to try?
Because I lost the problem. Because I think I lost because the words I don't know what mean, like arrange.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So I lost the idea.
Okay, okay. Well, let's do this then. Okay, listen up.
The professors discussed two possible...
Never allow. Suggest I want you.
Oh,
Only a week is left and surely the speaker will have his own agenda. So I think the woman should send emails to...
Okay.
Practice 2. Now listen to a conversation between two people.
Hello, Professor Findlay. How are you?
Oh, hello, Professor Brown. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm fine, except for one thing. One of my students has a swimming competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam.
What is her problem?
She has a student that he has a swim competition, and after I lost the term.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, except for one thing. One of my students has a swimming competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam.
What do you know what's the meaning of term?
Term like Portuguese.
Term is the word they use for semester in English. First term, second term, third term, you know?
It's a very important word.
Yes, very important word. Now, listen again to what she's saying.
Swimming competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam.
But what is the day? Listen again.
But it's on the day of our term exam.
And the day over time.
Not over.
Competition that she has to attend, but it's on the day of our term exam.
It's on the day of our term exam. Listen,
Repeat for me. And
sure.
the day?
It's on the day of our term exam. Do you understand?
Now yes. Our term
Yes.
exam.
Yes, it's on the day of our term exam. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, listen up.
I want to give her the opportunity to do both, but I don't know how I can arrange that. If I give her an
Arrange is the same as organize. I don't know how I can arrange that. I don't know how I can organize this to happen. Okay? Okay. Listen.
Okay. The word in English it's a arrangement.
In English, arrange. It's a verb. A verb. To arrange.
Arrange. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
give out what I do on the day of our term exam. I want to give her the opportunity to do both, but I don't know how I can arrange that. If I give her an extension, I have to do that for the whole class, and I don't think I want to do that. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, how about allowing her to take a makeup test?
How about allowing her? Do you know allow?
Permitir?
Yes. How about allowing her to take a makeup test? Okay?
Makeup test.
Yeah.
To allow the makeup test.
Yes. How about allow her to make a makeup test? You know, it's a test that it's a different test from everybody.
A different test.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Now listen to her. Oh,
It's not an extension. You can just continue at the other students' exams and give her a separate test paper on the day of her return. In that way, you don't have to change your schedule. The only thing you have to do is to make another test paper.
I've thought of that too, but our department never allows makeup tests. It's a way to prevent plagiarism.
Then why don't you give her an extra writing assignment? Give her a long and challenging assignment that's enough to cover the content of.
oh. What's the second option?
And give her a extra assignment.
Yes, exactly. Listen up.
The and challenging assignment that's enough to cover the content of the exam so that it could make up for her missed exam.
Okay?
Okay, to make up the exam.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. These are the two solutions.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Anna, as we won't have time to do it today, we'll do this next class. Okay?
Okay.
I'll put it up here for us. Do question 5.3. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anna.
And after we talk about the schedule, because the next Wednesday, it's okay.
Yeah. I need my student to answer, but as soon as he answers, I tell you.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.
See you.